Then Jesus ordered them, don't tell anyone, but go, show yourself to the priests, and offer the sacrifices that Moses commanded for your cleansing as a testimony to them. Yet the news about him spread all the more, so that crowds of people came to hear him and to be healed of their sicknesses. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Father God, I ask that you just touch me right now, God. Remove Nakia from myself. Thy will be done, God. I'm nervous, but I study. I love you and I need you. And I know if you did it before, you can do it again. This I ask in your most precious name, amen. So my church has an outreach ministry. We serve individuals in the Kensington section of the city. Kensington is known around the tri-state area as the mecca for opiate and heroin addiction. It's plagued with homelessness, poverty, and has recently been in the news for the abundance of hepatitis outbreaks. The areas in Kensington that we visit are made up of individuals who have been secluded and most likely been pushed into their part of the city due to their addictions and their habits. The unfamiliar smells that follow them, the open wounds that stay open from shooting up in their disheveled appearances. So I had a couple Tuesdays ago, we do outreach the last Tuesday of the month. That's a plug if you guys want to come in. So a couple months ago, I was doing outreach, and we do outreach on a pickup truck. I was on the back of the red pickup truck, and I seen my friend Shug. Now, Shug was the man back in the day. He had all the cars, he had a girlfriend, like a lot of girlfriends, like the cute ones. And he used to give me and Kaya money all the time when we went to the store. So I seen Shug, and I jumped off the pickup truck, and I embraced him. Shug didn't smell the same way. He had a bag of heroin needles. He didn't look the same way. Shug wasn't the same person. But I needed to jump down and let him know that he deserved a hug. And I remember him. I remember when he was the man. And he just don't know that I needed that hug more than he thought he needed my hug. When we do outreach, we have to come to them because society has boxed them up in this neighborhood, and most are afraid to leave their comfort zone. They feel like that's where they belong. When we come, our objective is to offer not just a meal, but also an invitation to change. The title of this message is An Invitation to Change. There are some requirements to change. The first one would be, let them look. Individuals who are plagued with leprosy was banished to communities that only allow people with leprosy in them. Those with leprosy, because of the law, had to stay away from their homes, away from their families, away from the general public. They were similar to those in the Kensington community. Jesus' ministry was spreading, and this man had to see Jesus, had to look at him, had to talk to him. It didn't matter to him about the outside looks he was going to get. He received walking the streets with his ailments on display. You know, we all tend to have ailments that we try to cover up because we don't want to be excluded from what is deemed as the norm of society. Imagine walking the streets with gaping open sores trying to get to Jesus. You know how sometimes when we're trying to make it to church and we're nervous that you can see our gaping open flesh that was on display last night at that club? But all in all, we're all trying to get to Jesus.
Come on.
Sometimes getting the dirty looks by the people in the church house because our skirts are a little shorter than usual, our pants sag lower than normal. This man was making his way to see Jesus. Despite his appearance and his obvious comfortability that was no longer on his side, he needed to be healed and was willing to withstand the looks and talks of the people in the town. This man not only had to endure the looks of the people in town, but also the looks of those who were within the leper colony. We must always be aware that everybody who struggles with you doesn't always want to see you delivered. And for the first time and the last time in this message, look at your neighbor and tell them they don't want to see you win. How many of us are willing to move past some of the things that make us uncomfortable so that we can get what we need from Jesus? let me just say that it takes being uncomfortable before God will release some things in your life. Verse 12 reads, when he saw Jesus, he fell with his face to the ground and begged him, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Another requirement of change, this is the second point, give him a show. This man found himself in the most humble situation. He fell down and begged God to make him clean. Despite the obstacles he had to face, he had to come through town to get to Jesus. He needed to make his presence known. In the midst of his ailments, his afflictions, his adversities, and his obstacles. Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. I could care less right now about what other people are standing in need of. Right now, I need to be healed. This infectious disease is crippling my nervous system to the point that I can barely stand. My nose is bleeding constantly. My muscles are weak. My kidneys are shutting down, and I need a relief. So let me lay prostrate at your feet. Let me get comfortable in this uncomfortable position because I need to be healed. I know some people must be tired of the constant weaknesses that they are facing, the pressures of life. I keep self-medicating, trying to make the pain stop. I'm drinking more, I'm popping more pills than I like to admit. I don't want to go home. I'm at the casino more. I'm covering up these scars with sex, with drugs, with alcohol, with but if I could just get in the position to let God know that I really need him.
Come on.
When was the last time you positioned yourself in a place of submission before God?
Last time.
Verse 13 reads, Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. I am willing, he said, be clean. And immediately, instantly, at once, suddenly, rapidly, the leprosy left him. And sometimes we allow ourselves to be uncomfortable in front of people when we are tired of being in our ailments. We will get to a point where we can lay prostrate and ask God to heal us. And many times, just like that, God can heal, he can restore, and deliver those things that we were trying so hard to conceal. Don't miss the picture that Jesus is painting here. It takes a level of humility, but also a willingness on the Lord's part. Verse 14 reads, then Jesus ordered him, don't tell anyone, but go show yourself to the priest. The last requirement of change is to stand on it. God has the willpower to get you through any hardship, any turmoil you're facing, but are you solid enough? Are you thorough enough to heal it and accept it? The man with leprosy was given strict orders to be healed and not tell anyone. However, if you go from being a social outcast to the life of the party, from being a drug dealer to a deacon, and working on Weehawken Avenue to now we're in Saks Fifth Avenue, people are going to notice a change. Your appearance that was once hidden and left you feeling ashamed is now going to start illuminating in all those places you thought you weren't worthy or welcomed at. How are you going to stand on the fact that God has literally changed your life in a blink of an eye? Should this man now go back to the colony of leprosy? Should he go back to his family that he was forced to leave during the time that he had leprosy? The one thing that we know is that he had to show himself to the priest and keep it to himself. Now I'm sure you wonder why he was left to be silent about his healing. If I can just take a guess about why Jesus gave such instructions, I think because you don't have to tell people about change. But rather let them see it and stand on the fact that you can change. You don't have to explain what Jesus has done in your life. Just let it speak for itself. I know somebody can testify that I've been changed. Jesus changed my walk. Jesus changed my talk. Jesus changed my attitude. Changed my thoughts and my actions. Stand on it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Change is a personal thing.
Come on.
Life is hard. We don't get to pick our struggles all the time. But we do get a choice on how we are going to fight to overcome them. We can act ratchet, live reckless, and choose not to get healed from our different ailments. But see, God gave Jesus the ultimate invitation to change. So that we can be better. He took on stinking flesh and hung on the cross for us. But he didn't just stay there. He got up.